when you talk about the fact that anyone can actually be offended by, a swear word. Last week I was calling Janet Napolitano a fucking cunt, and she is a cunt. Let's face it. And go look up the word cunt in the dictionary, and it probably doesn't have much to do with vagina, but I know she does. Anyways, she loves the fucking snatch. So in any case, like I said, if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, maybe you should go check out some religious station or something. I don't know, but those of you who have the balls enough to listen and are educated enough and been listening for a while on the show, this show has been on for probably 3 months now, and each show that I do has like an average of 5,000 hits on it and downloads and all these fucking things, plus however many thousands of people that listen to it on Conspiracy News Radio. And I'm actually thinking about broadening out and expanding the show a little bit, and maybe getting on another internet radio show station or two. But unfortunately, maybe people don't understand the economics today of radio, and it's very simple. People like myself have to pay to get on the radio. There's no more of this fucking shit where you're a DJ Howard Stern bullshit there, where some company's going to pay you $500 million or an Alex Jones. It's only the elite, the top echelon of radio hosts that actually get a radio show and get people to pay them. The rest of us have to do it the old-fashioned way, and either you have to get some sponsors, which I haven't really, dug into myself, and or you have to ask for donations from some of the listeners. And we have gotten some donations. Obviously, it's nowhere near what needs to be if you want to expand the show. So, that's up to you guys, the listener. If you like what you're hearing, then you'll do it. Now, myself, obviously, I've poured, a considerable amount of time and some cash into the show and stuff, and trying to get it off the air and trying to get people listening. And, the response has always been incredible. And to give you an example, to get a show like this off and running, you got to get some guests. You got to get some high-quality guests, and that's not at all easy. So you got to start with one, and you got to build up and build up and build up until finally people take you serious, and they know that this person that they're aware of has been on your show, and it's like a networking thing, like anything in business. And I've had some fabulous guests on the show. For those who have listened either on the station themselves, where I posted Blog Talk, a lot of the interviews are on Conspiracy News Radio. People like Bill Still and people like Jim Mars, who's a fucking phenomenal guy, who's coming back on the show in about 2 weeks or so. Going to have him back on and pick his brain. What an incredible guy. Also Jack Blood, who I'm a fan of his show, and of course Vinny Eastwood is a friend of mine, and I consider a friend. Who else has been on the show? Laura Eisenhower's been on the show. And we have several other guests lined up. I haven't done, in the last couple of weeks interviews. I've been taking a little bit of time off, I do this as a hobby, so it's not something that I'm able to devote 40 hours a week to, like some people. I gotta get up to work like every other fucking slave and earn a living, just to get by like anyone else. And like I said, anything that I've done on this show has been from my own doing, my own production, my own pocket. So it's much appreciated if you can donate. And I think I have some pretty cool ads on there, with some of the people that I like. And I got some good, some friends that have been doing some ads, and they're pretty good with voices and stuff. And some other ones I've had to pay for, like for example, the hot Australian chick that does the ads. She didn't come free, but I needed to have a woman's perspective on this show, because it's incredible, actually, because in this conspiracy movement, it's probably, I don't know, probably about 75% to 80% male and 20% female, and I don't really know why that is. I'm not a sexist or anything, so women are just as equally intelligent as men, so I don't understand, especially today, as opposed to 25 years ago, I would understand it. But It seems that most of the listeners of the show are male, and so I'd like to get some female perspective on things, and hopefully, what's in the news today, obviously, is Detroit. Okay, so what the fuck is happening with Detroit? I gotta feel sorry for the people of Detroit, man. I mean, that fucking looks like Bosnia or fucking Sarajevo, man. That city, it's just disgusting. So Detroit files for bankruptcy, largest bankruptcy in country's history. Go figure. This afternoon, the city of Detroit filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy protection, making it the largest bankruptcy in the history of the country at $18 to $20 billion. Unfucking real. Now, before I even go on, last week I was on a rant, and I was going on a rant against the fucking backstabbers at GM and Obama for bailing out GM to the tune of $30+ billion, and then them fucking off to China and closing plants in Ohio and everywhere else. And now we see that Detroit is bankrupt for $18 to $20 billion. So let me see. Let me do the math. Let me go back to fucking grade 2 here, and do my. I don't even have to go to a fucking long division here. 30 minus 20. That gives me 10 fucking billion, to spare. Instead of giving that money to those fucking pricks, why didn't you rebuild the infrastructure of a city like Detroit, who not only has a great fucking hockey team, but is the heart and soul of America? That's where the fucking worker is. That's where the worker was born. That's what drove the American economy forever. And you'd think that Obama would be fucking smart enough to say, you know what? Here are my options here. Do I give 30 fucking billion to GM, knowing that they're probably going to close anyways? Or do I fork a shitload of cash and try to regenerate the economy of one of the fucking cities in the U.S. that built the United States? It's incredible. It brings me back to the mortgage fucking situation, where instead of forking out trillions of fucking dollars, this fucking Obama clown could have written off every fucking dollar of every mortgage of every United States citizen and paid it off in full, and still had money to give to these greedy bankers. But what does he do? He gives it to the bankers and they fuck off with it. And then they go and foreclose on the very people that they were given cash to either extend loans, to pay off loans, to restructure loans, whatever the fuck it was, as securities against those loans. So can you fucking imagine the American economy? Just imagine it today. Do you think you'd be in the position that you're in this depression/recession, whatever the fuck you want to call it there, this fucking total chaos? Imagine the disposable income of every American family that owns a house that is paid for now. There's no more mortgage. Imagine what these people would be doing with their money when you got an extra $1,000 a month, or $1,500 a month, depending on your fucking house, or $800 a month. Imagine the quality of life. Imagine the spirit. Imagine the emotion. Imagine the fucking happiness from these people if they had just done one simple fucking thing and just pay off the mortgages. It's fucking Christmas, Can you imagine the popularity of this clown if he would have woke up one day and said, you know what? We're in a fucking mess, and we're in a mess because of these cocksucking fucking bankers. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking take out the middle finger and say, fuck you to these pricks, and I'm going to pay off all the mortgages of the people. And that way, these fuckers can't be foreclosing. These fuckers can't be holding everybody hostage. And you don't need to go to the bank tomorrow morning to pay your fucking loan and beg for forgiveness from these clowns. That's the reality. That's exactly what should have happened. Your fucking economy would be on the moon right now if that would have happened. That's what I would have done. I would have smoked these fuckers right up the ass and said, you know what? Here's the fucking check. Can you smell it? And that's all you're going to do, buddy, because you ain't fucking cashing it. Because it's going in a trust fund, and you're going to give me the amounts of every American citizen who owes fucking money on their house, and I'm bailing them out. And don't you think that would have been a plan? Incredible. The bankruptcy filing came after the Motor City, well, it used to be a Motor City now, I don't know, it's the dead city now, was unable to reach debt restructuring agreements with its investors and creditors. Well, obviously, nobody's fucking working. They got, what, fucking 18% unemployment? Well, what kind of fucking revenue are you generating from sales tax and whatever else? Squat. Fuck, nobody owns a house there. A bankruptcy court must now decide if the city is eligible for bankruptcy protection and how much, if anything, its creditors will receive, including city pension funds. So you know what? That's the last to go. If there's politicians in there, I'm not so fucking sad about that. But the governor of Michigan, Rick Snyder, still has to sign off on the bankruptcy filing. I think he's already done that there from what I saw. The bankruptcy of the city's 700,000 residents is the largest municipal bankruptcy in U.S. history. The city has a super majority African American population at 82.7%. That's fucking off the charts. And 6.8% population of Hispanics. Holy fuck. I didn't know it was that high. That's fucking incredible. So there's no white people there. That's for sure. I mean, not that I care, but that's fucking off the charts. Now, the difference is, I'm going to tell you why there's no white people there, is because they used to have 2 million residents. I don't know, I think it was 5-6 years ago. So all the white people fucked off. That's basically it. I mean, that's what I'm reading into this. I'm not a racist. I'm not, that's not what I'm about. But that's what happened. And they left the African Americans and the Hispanics holding the fucking bag. That's what they did. This bankruptcy comes right as Moody's and Investor Services upgraded the U.S. credit rating from negative to stable. Well, it's fucking negative anyways there. Doesn't matter about that. It was just some 50 years ago that Detroit had the richest per capita of any U.S. city, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Well, obviously, it was the Motor City. I mean, fucking, this is long before, and now you're going to get me started on this fuck. This is long before the fucking backstabbing, and I'm not against Asian people at all, but this is long before they infiltrated the fucking U.S. and North American market with their fucking cars. And unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword because GM and Chrysler, they were asleep at the fucking wheel, these clowns. They thought their big beast fucking Cadillacs and Impalas and all these fucking shit there, these 8-cylinder fucking hogs, were never going to end. So in comes the Japanese and the Koreans, and they just fucking take over the market. But they did it. I mean, they chipped away at it for fucking many years, man. I can still remember that fucking piece of junk Hyundai Pony fucking rust bucket that you drove it off the lot and the thing was fucking rusting. But look at Hyundai now. I know in my neck of the woods, they're number one. Hyundai is the number one fucking car in Quebec. So, they've come a long way from that rust fucking bucket piece of junk Pony that they had. But what happened? GM, what did they do? They did squat. They sat on their fucking laurels. They thought because, we invented the car, man. Ford, we invented everything. We don't got to worry about these fucking people. They're a fucking joke. They're never going to cash in on our fucking market. And what happened? These fucking pricks, they came in the back door and they started giving quality. They started giving fucking engines like Honda especially there that was lasting forever. If you treated it right, and they were fuel efficient, and that's what happened. These fucking idiots were asleep at the wheel. They thought that just because they were GM and Buy American that it was going to last forever, but it didn't. And it's the same thing with the electronics industry. RCA was the big fucking company there, and what ended up happening? RCA, Emerson, all these fucking companies there, and then all of a sudden fucking Sony pops in the picture and smokes them out with the Walkman. The population flight as jobs left has severely decreased the number of taxable properties. Well, that's obvious. Nobody's fucking living in them. You foreclosed on every one of them, so who's fucking paying the tax? There's nobody there to pay the tax, you fucking clown. For the city, the facts are stark for the city, with 60% of all Detroit children living in poverty, and over 30% of the city's 140 square mile vacancies are decaying. Well, yeah, that's quite obvious. I mean, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure that out. Jesus Christ. Nobody's living in these fucking dumps. And we wonder, what happens to us. I mean, once again, countries like Japan and China have taken over, and dictated the economy of North America. And what do we fucking sell them? Well, what can you name that gets exported to these fucking people? They make everything. They don't give a rat's ass about us. They don't want to buy any of our fucking shit. How many cars are sold in Japan, U.S. cars? We're not even talking to Germans now. We're not talking the Beamers and the fucking Volks and the Mercedes and all that shit. It's incredible. I mean, I don't know. When a city we never thought that GM would go bankrupt, obviously. But when a city like fucking Detroit is, the motor city, it's the fucking heart of the U.S. goes under, then you got a fucking problem. We're going to take a break and we're going to be back shortly, and we'll get into some other fucking news. We're back on Conspiracy this week. Thanks again for joining the program. Here's another interesting little tidbit. Mr. Obama, Barry Soetoro, registered to vote in D.C., and you won't believe what he lists as his address. A quick search of the D.C. Board of Election records conducted by PJ Media found a voter named Barry Soetoro registered to vote in our nation's capital with an address of, I'll give you 3 guesses. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. That's correct. The fucking White House. Barry Soetoro was the name used to register 6-year-old Barack Obama at Jakarta, Indonesia Roman Catholic Primary School by his stepfather, Lolo Soetoro, whatever the fuck his name is. The school registration card lists Barry Soetoro as an Indonesian citizen born August 4th, 1961, in Honolulu, Hawaii. His religion was listed as Muslim. Very interesting. How many fucking names does this backstabber go by? I mean, literally. Let's see. You got fucking Barack Obama, Barack Soetoro, Barry Obama, Barry Soetoro, Barry Manilow. I don't know what the fuck else. He's got how many fucking fathers? His Indonesian father, his Kenyan father, and Frank Marshall Davis. Who, if you look at actual pictures, he looks quite a bit like him. So that would be my guess. And in his book, he does mention Frank all the time, and as a father figure. So you know what? And it makes a lot of sense, because this guy, Frank Marshall Davis, was also, I believe, the leader in the '60s of the Communist Party in the U.S. there. So, and we know that Barack Barry Soetoro, Cousin Barry, whatever the fuck you want to call him, is obviously a fucking communist. Doesn't take much to figure that out. Big supporter of Karl Marx and that. So now we also have, this story. I don't really want to give it any more publicity than it has, but I just got to vent a little bit on it, I guess. Obviously, this Trayvon Martin crap, Zimmerman, and whatever else. I don't know. This guy has a Jewish name, and he's white and Hispanic there, so I don't know what the fuck happened there. But anyways, the incredible thing about it is that it's designed, the press that it's received. How many murders are there every fucking day in the U.S.? I mean, I don't know, but in Detroit alone, there's fucking, it's the capital, fucking crime capital of North America there. Right behind Mexico, I think. Might even surpass Mexico. I don't know, Mexico City. But in any case, why do you need to fucking talk about this shit? Anyways, why is it in the news? I'll tell you why it's in the news. It's very simple. It's to get the dumbed down idiots in America, the fucking the people who are watching Dancing with the Stars and fucking American Idol and Kardashian and all these fucked up You know, Brad and Angelina with his fucking wife that sliced off her tits there. That's all they think about. That's all people think about. So this is, you know, this is everywhere, and it's designed to be everywhere, because what it does is it takes your focus away from what's actually happening. And, you know, obviously we know that the people that are running the media are the same people that are running the campaigns, that are pushing the buttons of the politicians. They're the ones with all the cash. They're the ones with fucking the pharmaceutical, the oil industry. It's all tied in. You know, when you come down to it, there's like 140 fucking companies that run 50,000 companies, you know, with the holding companies and all that shit. So it's not a surprise, but what they're doing is they just don't want you fucking digging into their shit. So the easiest way to do it is to keep you fucking dumb at school, and what else? To keep you dumb while you're watching fucking TV. It's very simple. It's incredible when you think about it, you know, but that's the state of... That's the state and situation in America today, and it's not only America, actually. It's in Canada. It's all over the fucking world. So what does this idiot say about this? Let's give him a little bit of fucking press like he needs some. I wanted to come out here, first of all, to tell you that Jay is prepared for all questions and is very much looking forward to the session. That's that fucking asshole there, his press secretary idiot. We don't have to talk about that fucking clown. The reason I actually wanted to come out today is not to take questions, but to speak to an issue that obviously has gotten a lot of attention over the course of last week. The issue of Trayvon Martin and the ruling. I gave a statement right after the ruling on Sunday, but watching the debate over the course of the last week, I thought it might be useful for me to expand on my thoughts a little bit. Now, I don't know, do you find something fucked up about this? You got 350 million fucking people in the U.S. You got the leader of the free world, and he's holding a press conference to talk about a murder, an unfortunate murder trial of a young, 18-year-old, whatever he was, 21, fucking who gives a shit, kid. But, like, isn't there something a little bit more pressing on your plate right now? Isn't there? I don't know. You're fucking, the heart of the U.S., Detroit, is going into bankruptcy, and you're worried about this shit. You're worried about some unfortunate kid who got killed because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time, maybe looking suspicious, maybe not, I don't know, fuck. And this is what you're focusing on. This is the only thing that you have on your plate right now, is that. There's nothing else that's more important, I guess. Incredible. First of all, I want to make sure that once again I send my thoughts and prayers. Yeah, Luddy fucking da there, the usual bullshit there. Fucking choking the chicken there. Getting some brownie points. As well as Michelle's to the Trayvon Martin family. Yeah, like she gives a fucking shit about anybody. And to remark on the incredible grace and dignity with which they've dealt with the entire situation. I can only imagine what they're going through, and it's remarkable how they've handled it. The second thing I want to say is to reiterate what I said on Sunday, which is that there's going to be a lot of arguments about the legal issues in the trial. I'll let all legal analysis and talking heads address those issues. You're a fucking lawyer, you clown. You wouldn't know what was legal if it hit you in the fucking head. Okay? You bust the Constitution every fucking day of your life. You sign executive orders at will. You fucking backstab people with their rights. You bail out fucking companies that screwed everyone over. And you're talking about legal matters? I don't know. The juries were properly instructed that in a case such as this, reasonable doubt was relevant, and they rendered a verdict. And once the jury has spoken, that's how our system works. No, how your system works is you fucking put your John Hancock on fucking things, and people get fucked over. That's how it works. When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said, this could have been my son. Holy fucking shit. This could have been my son. You don't even know who your fucking father is. You don't have a son, you fucking idiot. And you have no clue who your fucking father is because your mother was a skank. Okay? And she was fucking whacking around with all kinds of fucking guys. Your grandparents worked in the fucking CIA. And your real father was fucking Frank Marshall Davis, more than likely. Okay? And he was a communist fucking prick. So what the fuck do you know about bringing up a son, you clown? Another way of saying it is, Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. Well, no, you're still fucking alive, you idiot. And when you think about it, in the African community, at least, there's a lot of pain around what happened here. I think it's important to recognize that the African American community is looking at the issue through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away. Well, it doesn't go away because we won't let it go away. Understand about the slavery shit, you know, totally fucking disgusting. Understand about the Holocaust, fucking disgusting. But what about the War of 1812, man? Like, what the fuck happened there? What about Andrew Jackson fucking slaughtering Creed Indians there like crazy? 10 fucking million, 20 million, whatever it was there. What about that thing? That didn't happen? These American Indians, they didn't even get a chance. They didn't even get the right to be a fucking slave. Not that being a slave is good. Obviously, it's fucking horrific. It's incredible. It's terrible. It's fucking obscene. Whatever you want to call it. But having your head fucking chopped off and scalped doesn't seem like such a bad idea when you're a slave. Who cries for these fucking people? The African American community is also knowledgeable that there is a history of racial disparities in the application of our criminal laws. I don't know. It's debatable. Everything from the death penalty to enforcement of our drug laws. And that ends up having an impact in terms of how people interpret the case. Well, I don't know. Stats that I've seen, obviously, I think the African Americans are about 15% or so of the population in the U.S., but 60% of the prisoners, and some of it is unjust. That's obvious, but not 60% of it. So I know that they've been dealt with, and I know they have issues, and I know they have discrimination and all that, and I can understand that, and you know, it's unfortunate. And I can't even imagine, I mean, myself, I'm a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, but I don't even fucking practice religion. I don't give a shit. And I don't personally discriminate against anyone if you're fucking evil. If you're a prick, you're a prick. And it shouldn't matter what color you are. It shouldn't matter what religion, what sex, what gender, what preference, gay, straight, whatever. It shouldn't fucking matter. If you're a fucking backstabber, you're a backstabber. And I think that's the problem that we have in society today. One of the bigger problems is that, you know, we tend to forgive people and give people a little bit of, you know, leeway because you're Jewish and there was the Holocaust, you're black and there was slavery, you're gay, so you know what, you were discriminated against. All of these things. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't. I mean, we have to evolve from that. We have to evolve from that, and we have to understand that if we are all created equal, then it shouldn't matter what race, creed, religion, sexual preference you have. If you're a fucker, you're a fucker. That's it. I don't know. This fucking Obama thing really gets me pissed off. Anyways, maybe we should take another little break. And actually, I did have a very special guest on the show recently, and maybe I'll just play you that little interview. And I only got about 5 minutes at his fucker's time there, but hope you enjoy it. Thank you for coming on the program, Alex.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Now, Alex, I know you're delusional sometimes, but this is my show, Conspiracy This Week.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm not God.
Alex, you're ranting already. Nobody said you were God. But do you believe in God?
Let's just say there is no God. My God, there's a devil.
You know, that's strange because I heard you say many times that you do believe in God. Are you sure you don't want to take that back?
God help us. I mean, we got total psychopaths running everything.
Forget about God for a minute. When you were a kid, did you watch TV? Like Sesame Street?
I like Bert and Ernie. My children, I occasionally let them watch TV for an hour, maybe every couple of weeks, and I let them watch Sesame Street, and they like Bert and Ernie. I was not making fun of the name Ernie. In fact, I have a good friend named Ernie.
What about sports? Were you into sports?
One time I hit a baseball and went right into a kid's head and just like basically knocked his eye out. It was like I almost blinded him. I think he was able to see. They were able to fix the eye, but didn't mean it. I mean, I hit the ball and right into his face.
Oh man, that's really fucked up. The audio is a bit scratchy. Are you on a cell phone?
Cell phones are frying your brain. And if you have one in your pocket on, frying your genitalia.
Well, I guess it's your connection that sucks. Maybe you need another fucking money bomb. Anyways, recently you posted a video about the Harlem Shuffle. Are you really just a whore from YouTube?
I'll smash your teeth in, whore.
Calm down, man. Aren't you being a little bit irrational right now?
It's not irrational. It is my instinct with the intellectual overlaid into the animal propulsion system to drive the species and to rally my fellow humans to come out of their cocoons and resist the tyranny.
Okay, never mind about that. But I gotta ask you, what the fuck happened on Piers Morgan?
1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street.
Alex, will you calm the fuck down? You're on Conspiracy this week. You're not on with that British fag Morgan.
I disagree so much fundamentally.
What the hell do you mean you disagree? Are you all right?
Leave me alone, you idiot.
Holy fuck. I think you gotta increase your medication. You are on medication, right?
Emergency, ladies and gentlemen! These bastards, these pieces of... Oh, my... I just can't... You know what? If we don't get mad about this, there's nothing that's going to make us mad.
What do you say to the people that say you're an egomaniac and you think you know it all?
I happen to have the official U.S. government documents!
And where does it actually say in those documents that you know you're right?
U.S. Code, Title 50, Chapter 32, Subsection 1528, Paragraph B.
Well, I guess I can't argue with that. Now, many people have accused you of being an agent. Just who the fuck do you work for anyways? The Zionists? The Jesuits? The globalists? Are you gonna fucking come clean or what?
Oh, man. Look, the genie's out of the bottle, Pandora's box, the horse has already left the barn. You can try to put it back in the box. It's not going to happen.
So what do you think about the Jesuit priests?
Piece of stinking filth.
You do know these people funded Hitler, right?
I mean, Hitler was really a freak. I mean, he liked women to crap on him. I don't want to go off into too much detail here, but that's confirmed.
Jesus Christ. What does Hitler's freaky shit fetish have to do with it?
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, when I go to the bathroom, it stinks. I mean, I hate to have to even go further there. I mean, you know, I'm not God.
Man, that's too fucking weird. You gotta be on Prozac, man.
How about Prozac? You know the number one... Oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it?
Alex. You forget Prozac is a sponsor of the Piers Morgan Show, not Conspiracy This Week.
So usually when I get tired, I just get mad.
I realize you get tired. After all, you work 30 hours a day.
Normally I want to stay and work, and now I'm like really lusting is the word after leaving and jogging and running in the woods till I pull over to the side and vomit. Because I'm going to have a six-pack stomach again, and my eyes are going to bulge out of my head again.
Are you sure it isn't that fucking tangy tangerine shit fucking you up? By the way, I did notice the six-pack, but it was Bud in the studio the other day.
I know.
Some people say you're a racist. What do you say to that?
You're going to go to prison, and a big black man's going to rape you and give you AIDS. You're going to have a big bleeping up your bleeping.
You're always talking about the Chinese. Why?
It's having fun. It's not making fun of Asians to go, it's me acting stupid.
What about music? Do you have a favorite song?
It's the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius.
All right, man, I've had enough. I think it's time to wrap up. Any last comments?
Evil isn't sexy. You know what evil is? It's rickety, leaning, two-story slums with mud streets with feces running down the middle of it, with dirty whores whose white linen is turned yellow out in the Mediterranean sun.
I think we've had enough of this shit fetish. Thanks for coming on the program, Alex. Tune in next week for another episode of Conspiracy This Week.
You're listening to the Conspiracy This Week radio show. Conspiracy is the new sexy.
Hey, Homer, ConspiracyThisWeek.com needs your help.
What, did they get a truckload of donuts and can't eat them all?
Woohoo! No, they need help offsetting the rising costs of maintaining a website in this economy.
No! So how can I get them the money? I don't know where David Boyle even lives.
Oh, you can donate through PayPal and the website. It's fast and easy.
Woo! Fast and easy. That's how I like my beer. Beer.
If you want to reach us by email, I should have given the email a little earlier. Some people are a little bit more comfortable by email, so it's conspiracythisweek@gmail.com. And actually, I did just check it. So I get quite a few emails on the show. I also have a YouTube channel that's got about 50,000 hits with, probably about 4 videos or something. So we do have some followers. Some of the people are shy, I guess, and we haven't done a live broadcast, but I'm going to read a couple of emails right now from some of the viewers. This one is from Dave in Minnesota. Hey, Dave. Well, you know what? My name's Dave too, so that's cool, man. I really enjoyed your interview with Jim Marrs. Is he going to be coming back on the show soon? And if so, are you going to be doing a call-in? I'd really like the opportunity to ask him some questions. Well, yes, Dave. As a matter of fact, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Jim Marrs will be coming back on. I haven't confirmed the actual date, but I did speak with him a week ago, and he's on vacation for the next 2 weeks there. So sometime early in August, Jim will be back on the program, and I love talking to Jim. He's a fascinating guy. And the interview was really, really an eye-opener. I mean, I've read several of his books, and obviously people who don't know him, his book was one of the 2 books that was used in the JFK Oliver Stone movie. So Jim Marrs is definitely in the top 3 in this conspiracy realm. Maybe with George Norrie and Alex Jones and David Icke and that, and they're probably the 4 guys or 4 or 5 people there that are the most prominent people. And for those who listen to the Alex Jones interview, that's obviously that's all done in fun. I have to commend Alex Jones because he has done quite a bit for the movement when it comes to stimulating people and getting people involved and awake. And probably nobody else. I can't really think of anyone else who has done more on that end. But the one thing you got to watch with Alex Jones, in my opinion, anyways, and it's only my opinion, and you can take it for what it is. Alex Jones is a businessman, and he is infatuated totally with Howard Stern. If anybody listened to his Howard Stern interview, you'll understand what I'm saying. And basically, he wants to be the Alex Stern. I mean, he does have quite a bit of a following there. We know that. But then again, you don't get on the radio and you don't get to 150 FM networks unless you're doing something that these people want you to do there. So I think in his case, it's to rile up the masses and the fear porn and get people locked and loaded and get the preppers thinking and stuff. And nothing wrong with preparing yourself and having some fucking toilet paper or a little bit of food and water stashed, I mean, I myself was out of my house back in the late 90s there. We had what was called the ice storm in Quebec, and I was going from house to house. I actually slept at my work, and we closed our work for several days and stuff. And so I do understand what it is to be without, and this was in the middle of winter, and it was fucking 40 below, and we had wicked rain and all kinds of shit, and anybody wants to look into it, look to the ice storm in Quebec, and I think it was 1999 if I remember now, getting a little older. But in any case, so I understand what it's like to be out of your fucking house for couple of weeks and stuff, and it wasn't a disaster like a tornado or hurricane or whatever, but I was still quite inconvenienced and living off of people, lost quite a bit of food in my house and all that shit, so I understand what it's about. But it doesn't mean that you gotta go and fucking buy yourself 1,000 rounds of fucking ammo and go dig yourself a bunker at $35,000 in your fucking backyard and take your $5,000 ED food subscription and double up on your fucking tangy tangerine and all this shit there. I mean, this guy makes a living out of selling fear porn, so he does have a motive. He has a business, and he's a businessman. So whenever money is involved, you got to watch. So that's all I'm saying. Don't fall for the scam. Don't fall for that. Take his 80-20 shit. 80% of what he does is relevant and it's true. And take that and then do your own digging. But don't be a cult fucking member. Don't be Jim Jones, David Koresh, whatever follower there, because you got to be able to think for yourself. I mean, that's basically what I'm trying to say. So I hope you liked that interview. It was all done in fun. Because Alex would never come on my show or any other show that doesn't give him the exposure that he wants. I mean, he's the kind of guy that he's got to be on the BBC, he's got to be on Howard Stern, he's got to be on whatever fucking network, Fox and CNN and all this shit. And incidentally, how do you get on those networks? I mean, let's face it, okay? More often than not, I mean, with most people, there are some people that I know that are on those, they do some interviews that I've seen, and I've interviewed people, for example, Jim Fetzer. If anyone's listened to my interview with Jim Fetzer, when he was on with that fucking prick there, Bill O'Reilly from Fox there. What a fucking clown this guy is. In any case, Jim Fetzer's not on the TV every day. He doesn't have fucking 3 million viewers, so, and he's not on 150 radio fucking networks. So when it comes to that, I gotta be a little bit suspect to what's going on in that, because, for example, if you look at the amount of radio stations that Alex Jones is on, which he claims is 150, who do you think owns those stations? It's the same people who own the fucking media that he's bashing every day, all day. It's not like he's fucking Jay Leno and you can bash, or David Letterman, you can bash CBS because you're a comedian, or Jay Leno can bash NBC, and that's not the case, This guy's getting to the root of it. These guys are just fucking around with trivial shit. This guy's hitting them. So maybe they want to be hit. Maybe they want to fucking, they already know that there's some exposure out there, so who gives a shit if he says anything? All we'll do is we'll discredit the guy, we'll make him look like a fucking lunatic, and then we're free and clear. So everything the guy says is fucking useless. And I think that's what they've done with Alex Jones, because if you saw him on Piers Morgan, you understand what I mean. If you saw him on BBC, he was fucking losing his mind again. And basically, when it comes to that, your own worst enemy when it comes to that, and that's the fucking issue. I mean, has he done more to get people involved than anyone else? Yeah, I would say so. But, I'm not so sure that he should be the spokesperson, at least for me. That's for sure. So let's get back to Obama here, this fucking prick. The destruction of Obama. Okay, let's see. Some people have been surprised or disappointed by certain decisions of Barack Obama. His war-making, his use of illegal drone strikes, Guantanamo Bay. Okay, his failure to genuinely help those ordinary Americans who voted him in office. Well, he doesn't help anybody but himself. What are you talking about? And even his pursuit of whistleblowers like Manning and Snowden. But there is no reason for surprise. Obama told us all about himself in his autobiography. Yeah, that's the one where he fucking mentions this guy Frank Marshall Davis, his old man. Most of us just choose not to listen and then analyze the significance of what he has told us. Well, does anybody really read anything anymore and analyze shit, or do you just go over it and fucking skim over it? The attention span of people are fucking, it's basically zero, when you think about it. There's no kids that are fucking reading this guy's book for sure. They don't give a shit about that. It takes, here we go. It takes someone with a particular psychological profile to kill and exploit people. We know he's a psychopath. We already know that. I mean, fuck. Anybody who would strike or you know, and drone people and say that he's going to fucking kill his own people, come on, man. You're a fucking whack job. But then he gets a peace prize, so that's okay. You know, that evens everything out, you know. Doesn't matter what he says. Give him a fucking peace prize. Most of us can't kill. We respond to our conscious or feelings such as empathy, sympathy, compassion, or even the fear of our guilt or shame if we know our actions will cause harm to others. But psychopaths don't fucking care about that shit. That's not what they're about. They're about fucking just doing whatever they fucking want to do when they want to do it. I mean, that's what a psychopath is. It's fucking obvious. What happened to Barack Obama that makes him so violent? Let us analyze what he told us. Okay. In his book, he describes his childhood. Well, it depends. What do you think of his childhood? Is that a right account? I don't believe so. You know, his father was evidently a fucking drunk. You know, I don't know. I mean, and he smashed his car and did all this shit. I don't know what the fuck it was there. I didn't read it. But, you know, I've read enough about him through other articles and stuff to understand the gist of his book. And, for example, explicit reference to his violent maternal grandfather, as well as key behavioral descriptions of himself in context that reveal his emotional state. Well, fucking obviously, if your grandfather's beating the piss out of you, you know, you're going to have a fucking fucked up life. But this guy's your fucking president. Even if he was, and still is, suppressed below his own conscious awareness. In essence, the book contains a largely delusional account of his early life, because he's fucking delusional. What are you talking about? The guy doesn't even know what his fucking name is. Reflecting his effort to leave his past behind without dealing with the effects of the violence he suffered. Okay, so now we're going to play a fucking trump card there. He was a fucking abused kid, so that's why he's a whack job. One incident he describes clearly reveals his justified but unexpressed fury at his father for abandoning him. Well, I don't know. Because this fury was suppressed, it left Barack with a gaping hole in his sense of self-worth. Back to the fucking gaping hole, man. I don't want to go back to my fucking comment last week on that skank there, fucking Napolitano. But some people say Barack's fucking gay, so maybe he has a fucking gaping asshole from all the fucking dicks he's had in it. I don't know. He wasn't worthy of his father's time, attention, and love. Moreover, because he was unable either to prevent his abandonment by his father. What the fuck? Because his love as a baby for his father was insufficient to bond his father to him. I don't know. Or express his feelings, which would usually include fear, pain, sadness, in addition to his obvious anger. Primarily about his abandonment. Well, I'd be pissed off too if my old man wasn't there. And actually, my old man was never there, so, but I ain't out fucking droning people. Incredible. He acquired a deep sense of powerlessness and a large measure of self-hatred too. Well, he looks like a fucking egomaniac to me, so I don't know if he hates himself too much. However, given the extraordinary unpleasantness of these feelings, and without support and preferably encouragement, feel them, he unconsciously suppressed his awareness. Fuck, here we go with the fucking Freudian shit. So he wanted to whack out his fucking his father and bang his mother. That's what this fucking thing's saying. Get on it. Get on the fucking Freud shit there, where every fucking kid wants to whack their father and fucking bang their old lady. Are you fucking kidding me? His book makes it clear that it was his mother, so here we go, who was primarily responsible for teaching young Barack to suppress his awareness and his feelings. She didn't comprehend her child's need to feel the fear raised by his father's abandonment, to cry out about it, and to get angry about it, perhaps by having a series of tantrums. Or maybe by fucking whacking him out, like Freud would have said. Because listening to his feelings frightened her. Listening might trigger equivalent feelings in herself. And as a child, she had been scared into suppressing her awareness and her feelings, too. From what I understand, she was a fucking skank. So she scared the young Barack into having these feelings, for example, contradicting his perceptions of his father and offering justifications for his father's behavior. This fucking clown didn't know who his old man was. I mean, that's pretty clear there. So when you talk about abandonment and all this shit there, are you serious? He had the guy in Kenya, then he talks about this guy in fucking Indonesia, and then it's Frank Marshall Davis. And this is all before, his 12th birthday or whatever. And then he's getting fucking bitch slapped by his grandfather. So I don't know, man. I mean, like, no wonder why he's fucking gay, if that's what we can believe there. I don't know. I think we need a break on this show today because Obama gets me fucking fuming. We're back on Conspiracy This Week. For those of you, like I said, who want to contact the show's email is conspiracythisweek@gmail.com. Basically, I'm going to get back to reading some of the emails that we have here. Let's see. What's this one here? From Washington. Kevin in Washington. Hey, Kevin, how's it going there? Nice of you to write in. Okay, so what does he say here? Really enjoy your show and your radio stream. I especially like the soprano ads that you do. Let's see. When are you going to be doing a call-in show? Well, I'm doing one right fucking now, Kevin. Where the fuck are you? Anyways, I also liked your Jack Blood interview. I listened to Jack Blood and have for several years. How did you get in touch with Jack? And will he be coming back on the show? Well, thanks for writing in, Kevin. Well, Kevin, basically, I mean, Jack is a cool guy. I've listened to his show for quite a while. And on and off, like I really don't listen to people every fucking day. I'm not religious about it, but I try to tune in to the main guys. There's a few straight shooters in the conspiracy movement there, especially on radio, I would say. Jack Blood and Vinny Eastwood are the two that come to mind right away, and they're two pretty cool guys that I was fortunate enough to hook up with. And starting out in this business, even though I've been in this business fucking, 30 years now, since I was 14 years old, I started out in this shit, but not on the radio, to myself kind of stuff. So if I had to say, like, Alex Jones wasn't even in diapers, I don't think, or probably was just in diapers when I was listening to this shit. So, but Jack Blood was very courteous. I mean, like I said in the interview, I called him, I sent him an email, and right away he responded and said, "Cool, man, I'll do it." But that's how some of these people are in the movement, and you get other fucking backstabbers who will not answer you back, and they don't give a flying fuck about you. And Vinny Eastwood's another guy that I really like, and I get along with him great. And we've had several interviews and conversations and stuff, and he's a very nice guy. And he's one of the guys that I go to bat for. And we've had some behind-the-scenes kind of shit going on as well. And I've supported Vinny, and I will continue to support Vinny. He's been attacked by some people, and I didn't like it. So I spoke my piece, and now these people don't want to fucking, not that I care, but they don't want to deal with me either anymore. But I really don't give a shit. I mean, it's about getting a message across and as honest as possible, and that's the way that I look at it. The last bit of news that I wanted to get to today, before we close the show, is I put a video out on my Facebook, and it's fucking an awesome video. It's an awesome video. I really invite you to go see it there. So go to conspiracythisweek.com and click on the Facebook page, and I posted it, and I think there's 350 people so far who have seen it. And there's other videos as well there that several hundred people have seen there. So, but this video, it's about the bankers, an auction in Ireland. And the Irish people, I mean, like I said, I'm part Irish, I'm Scottish and Irish. So the Irish people, when I grew up there in my area, and they're fucking tough SOBs. So they make great boxers and stuff. You know, obviously they love to fight, and I've been in a few scraps myself growing up there, so never back down from anyone. That's why I'm doing this kind of shit, because you got to be a fighter to do this stuff, and the Irish people have fought all their fucking life, and basically they fought against England. And this just goes to show you the way that I am, and I agree with their fucking fight against England. And England is, you know, the Queen of England is the head of my church. But I side with the fucking Catholics on that, because this fucking cunt there has raped and pillaged these people, as well as the Scottish people, for fucking centuries, man. So I don't have any fucking any issues at all fucking you know, calling her out for what she is. And you know what ended up happening is there was an auction in Ireland for bankruptcies, you know, and a lot of people were losing their houses. And the Irish people, like I said, they're fucking fighters, man. So they challenged it, and I'm just going to play a little excerpt from it so you can get an idea. Now, you may or may not understand them. I mean, myself, my grandparents were from Scotland and Ireland, so I grew up with this accent in my ear, so I understand them perfectly. But you know, you can just go to the like I said, go to the website, go to the Facebook page, and play it and fucking slow it down or replay it, whatever the hell you want to do. But in any case, I'm just going to give you a little tidbit of it, and you can understand what the fuck is happening. So this is an auction that's going on in Ireland by a British auction house, and they're selling people's fucking properties. Have a listen.
Be very careful of placing deposits on properties that you have not checked the High Court in relation to receivers placed illegally. Have been warned, check your legal facts to the High Court. Not here, it's not disclosed. Thank you.
The rent is wrong. There's a short, it's actually €1,980 less. And I can tell you now that there'll be 3 tenants less in that property if that was up here today. I have my brother-in-law here paid for it. Please, 110 years of my family. I'm here to fight for it.
Not from the 4-0, you do not have the owner's consent to sell this property. The person you say owns it does not own it. It's owned by a trust. I'm here representing that trust. You are now participating in a fraud. Anybody that's at that top table that auctions this property is participating in a fraud. You have no option or no alternative but to take commercial liens against everyone and anyone involved in this. You do not have to consent this person. This property is in litigation. How dare you put a property up there without the owner's consent? You stand up there bidding on property and include these people in your fraud. Now, I'll tell you something. If this goes ahead today, we will take commercial liens, and for people that don't know what a commercial lien is, you will have no pension. You will have no investment property. We have it. So before you take that dollar down, be careful. Do not bid on lot number 40. It is in litigation. It is not here for auction. The owner has not given consent. And if you do, you will be involved in a fraud. This is just putting out. From this is not putting out. So you could be arrested. No, I'll give you the option of trust this in private. You didn't want to do that. What you want to do is change the whole rule book and forget about the legal system to get greed, to get your percentage. The solicitors here are taking instructions from an accountant and an auctioneer. So we don't need a legal system anymore. So why bother with it? Just get rid of it. And let you guys run the whole country. You cannot sell a property without the owner's consent.
So basically what ends up happening here is all the people are fucking freaking out there, and they're pleading their case and saying that it's illegal to auction off the properties, and they have just cause. Evidently in the Irish Constitution, they have a right, and they have a right to goodwill, which basically means that they have to give their consent, you know, to allow the property to relinquish their ownership of the property, and they haven't because they're in bankruptcy. So who would? So what ends up happening after 12 minutes of this going on and, basically back and forth, they end up canceling the auction. So what does this tell you? Basically, it tells you that for the people who are able to fight for what they believe in, and for people, it doesn't take much to defeat the bankers. It doesn't take much. All it takes is a strong will, dedication, heart, and just cause. And just to say, fuck you, I'm not going to take this shit anymore. And it's incredible that there were, I don't know how many fucking properties and how much money it would amount to, but they were able to cancel the auction. And they were able to get politicians down there to plead their case. So, as the old saying goes, it doesn't take very many people to make a change. And I invite you to go to the website and check this out and just look into it, and you'll see what it takes for people to understand and to finally get back at these fucking backstabbing bankers. And these are just average stiffs who are fighting basically for everything that they've worked for 30, 40, 50 years, whatever the fuck it is, their properties, their business, whatever. But they're fighting for it, and rightfully so. And they end up winning. We'll be back again